Okay, the subject I chose to talk about today is whether or not college athletes should be paid to play. Should they? In my opinion, no. This is why. They already are being paid enough with a full scholarship, in my opinion. U.S. News reports that the average athletic scholarship is about $25,000 a semester. This covers meal plans, room and board, tuition, books, fees, etc. Most students don't have this luxury. I think people sometimes tend to forget the importance of a great education which they are receiving for free. Nobody's forced to play big-time college football or basketball. Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about the history. President Theodore Roosevelt helped create the NCAA in 1906. Didn't have any idea that it would grow into what it has. At first, it was just a place to watch athletes play sports. Now, it's a billion-dollar company. Why hasn't anything changed? Because the decision makers have the mentality, this is the way it's always been. All right, now I want to talk a little bit about the profiting the programs are making for these off these athletes. New York Times reports that ESPN is set to pay $5.6 billion over the next 12 years for college football rights. Defending national champion Alabama reported a revenue of $82 million in 2012. Louisville reported $42 million in revenue last year. I recently watched a video on ESPN.com that made a compelling argument. The NCAA makes millions off of these players' product, selling the jerseys with their numbers on it, maybe shirts with these pictures of these athletes. Athletes earn their schools hundreds of thousands of dollars, increase enrollment, and if they do well, provide a recruiting piece for generations. Another argument was, do you pay every player? Or do you just pay the football and basketball programs, which they're the ones that bring in the bulk of your revenue? If you start to pay now, what about the former alumni? Are they going to come back and want the money that they would have earned back then if this was going on? There's another issue. Every student who signs their letter of intent agrees to their scholarship to play a sport and knows going in that the school's job is to make the most money off of his and her efforts. Okay, here's a few different options of what you could pay the players. Some people say pay the players $2,000 a semester maybe. Well, 2,000 times 100 is 200,000. Seems very affordable for most Division I schools. The athletic scholarship is worth $15,000 to $45,000 a year. Some say pay the star players. Well, that isn't too fair. Are the star athletes winning by themselves? No. Okay, next I want to talk about implementing a system where college athletes could get paid. Okay, well, this could create a whole multitude of problems, like unfair advantages for nationally acclaimed programs. Athletic departments are not as rich as everyone thinks. In fact, the vast majority of NCAA athletic departments don't turn an annual profit. According to the NCAA, only 23 athletic programs made a profit in 2012. Ultimately, there are two main points that make organized payment to college athletes a tough sell. First, there's the simple fact that the athletes need the universities more than the universities need them. College sports can get athletes into schools they normally may not be able to afford or get into based on their grades. Those looking to play professional are almost improving their odds by being able to do this. Earlier this year, SportsIllustrated.com reported that Texas A&M quarterback Johnny Manziel was being investigated by the NCAA on whether Manziel may have collected a 5-figure flat fee to sign autographs while attending the BCS National Championship game. The success of a program, while that student is not guaranteed, Time magazine reported that Texas A&M stands to make an estimated $72 million alone off of branded merchandise in 1 year connected to the success of Manziel. I definitely think players should be able to hold autograph signings so they can have some type of money to be able to spend, and so they wouldn't have to go out and do these things that then they're supposed to go behind the university's back. Well, the coaches also profit off these players. Many of these coaches earn at least $100,000 per year to coach one of the major sports like baseball, basketball, or football. Recently, the NCAA and CBS signed a $10.8 billion agreement over 14 years. The NCAA is also considered a non-profit company. Third, the athletic programs. Universities bring in hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars to their athletic programs each year through donations, ticket sales, media rights, advertising, and anything else with the price tag. These athletes are symbols for their school and their program. The flip side of this is that not all sports teams are profitable. For example, some less powerful teams like swimming, tennis, volleyball don't even earn the university much money. At this point, this debate on whether college athletes should be paid really doesn't change anything. It's about finding the right answer because there is no wrong answer. Seemingly everyone, regardless of the stance they take, makes valid point. Yes, for the most part, colleges and universities are making money off their backs, performances and success of major football and men's basketball programs and their scholarship athletes who play for them. But ask yourself, isn't this what most businesses do?